This is a Glass Box Media podcast. Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Okay. So we got tagged in this thing on TikTok, and it was this creator who was just reading this Reddit post.
Okay.
And I was like, I have to immediately go find this Reddit post so that I can share it with the both of you. Just for your reaction.
Okay. All right. Can't wait.
I found a jar that my husband has been ejaculating in and threw it away.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He got very upset with me.
Hold on. What the fuck? This is like a mason jar, like you keep bacon fat in?
Hold on. So, I'm a woman in my 30s. I made a throwaway because I don't want this tied to my main account. I bet you don't.
I bet you don't. I bet you want to scrub it from your brain with like a Brillo pad. Just get in all the cracks.
Yesterday, our garbage disposal stopped working, and I was trying to see why. So I was looking around under the sink and moved stuff out to get in there to look around more easily. In the very back, tucked away, was a mason jar
earmuffs, Cassie.
that I thought was just over halfway full of kitchen grease. At first, but I realized it wasn't grease. I thought it looked like semen. I made the mistake of opening it, and by the smell, I knew that it was definitely semen.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Disgusted, I threw it away in the dumpster outside. It had to have been my husband's, but I don't know why he would save semen in a jar.
Wait, but who else's could it have been?
You just have someone breaking in.
Handyman.
It's their weird kink, yeah.
Ew, some weird handyman just came.
Oh my God. How long to get half of a jar?
My husband got home and I asked him about it. He seemed very embarrassed and confessed it was indeed a jar full of semen he was filling for almost a year. I was shocked and asked him why. He said whenever it was my time of the month or I wasn't in the mood, he'd jerk off into the jar after I went to bed.
No.
I asked him why not go in the toilet or use tissues or the shower or something.
Anything.
Why a fucking jar? He couldn't answer that other than saying he's been doing this since he was a kid.
No.
I told him I want him to stop using a jar because it's disgusting.
Yeah.
He told me he didn't want to and asked where the jar was. I told him I threw it away and he was upset. He said it took him a long time to fill the jar that much and now he had to start over.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. No.
And we argued about him using a jar to store old jizz in. I still don't understand why he wants to fill a jar, for fuck's sake. We argued about it, and during the argument, he opened the refrigerator, took out a large jar of pickles, dumped it out, and started rinsing it out, saying, "This is my cum jar now."
No. Oh, my God. Get out of my house.
So what a waste of pickles, I have to say.
Get out of my
secondly,
fucking house.
That's my second. I mean, there's a few issues I have before the waste of pickles, but it is on the list. We don't like wasting food.
No, not in this house. Before I knew it, I'm literally screaming at my husband about coming in jars and told him he can either come in me or the jar, but not both. He clutched the jar and stormed off to the bathroom.
No.
Wow.
I was literally speechless.
No.
I sat down and started watching TV, trying to take my mind off it when he came out and joined me and tried to patch things up. I asked him where he hid the jar and he wouldn't fucking tell me.
No.
He told me we should just forget about the fight.
No, we should
No.
not.
He apologized to me and told me he'd make sure I didn't have to see the jar if I didn't want to.
This is something. This thing got ingrained early, and this is something this person needs now.
Yeah.
This is.
It says like, burp,
It totally is that. So, oh man, this one's tough.
Stuff. I wanted us to stop fighting, so I agreed, and we didn't speak about it for the rest of the night. He fell asleep early, but I laid in bed for over an hour thinking about the fucking jar. I don't understand why he's so intent on doing something so disgusting, and I'm still angry about it. Okay.
All right.
So hold on. Now I have to say, there is an update. The update feels... Y'all tell me if you think that the update is for real or not.
Oh.
Because it feels like a little... This threw everything into question for me. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Edit/update. My husband got home and we sat down and talked. After a lot of prying, I got him to come clean with me about why he comes in a jar and why it's in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
No. He gets very excited when I eat his cum. And he makes pancakes every weekend for breakfast.
I swear to fucking God. I swear to God. I don't. You fucking say it. Don't say it. Keep that shit in your... Don't you say it.
Now I'm now you can't dose somebody with cum, okay? Like you can't. Like this has got to be. This is not.
Don't know.
I am not consenting. It's to your fucking.
And I'm sorry. Is it supposed to be refrigerated? Does it go bad? Like what's happening?
That's what I'm thinking.
Fucking food safety.
It's like fucking rancid. It's rancid. He mixes the cum into the pancake batter and gets off on me eating it without my knowledge. That he has been doing this regularly for our entire marriage and has mixed cum in other things I've eaten and drank. I have,
divorce.
Of course, swallowed his cum before, but this is different because he did this without me knowing. I honestly couldn't yell at him or even say anything. I felt numb. I just got up and started throwing shit in a bag while he tried to talk me down and
There
stop
you
me.
go.
I ended up leaving with some bare essentials and told him I needed space and will
We're
reach
divorced.
out when I'm ready to talk. I'm taking some time off of work and headed to a friend's house for a few days. Taking some time off work is fucking right.
No,
I'm like,
and
no.
dude, to be a
Imagine.
fly. If I imagine if one of you.
I'm pulling up the divorce. I'm pulling up all the paperwork and printing it out at home right now. I'm like, we're starting the process tonight. I cannot.
We're gonna crack open some wine, girl.
Yeah, I cannot, in good conscience, allow you to go back into
that
that house.
You can't go back to somebody that's putting spoiled cum in pancakes. What the hell?
And refrigerated.
I would vomit
It's like,
everywhere.
you know that aioli? You're like on that turkey sandwich. You're like, no.
Oh my God.
Never have mayonnaise again.
What a fucking psychopath. What a psychopath.
Like, what's the secret to this soup?
Oh my God. Oh my
Cassie's
God.
so
I
mad.
am so furious. This is disgusting.
It's fucking awful. Like, listen, before this update, I was trying to be reasonable. I'm like, listen, people get kind of like when you start masturbating, if something kind of clicks, like coming into a jar or a sock or something, like sometimes things get tied together. And I would honestly like sit down and be like, all right, you're going to put this in this place somewhere in the corner of the basement. I'm never going to think about it. If that's something that you need, I'm fine with it, but I never see it. And we never talk about it. And that's fine. Now the update with it in your fucking food, no.
We're getting divorced.
Solidly.
We're done.
Yeah,
Solidly.
you're adding me into a kink without my permission, without my consent, without my knowledge, and now
I'm calling the police.
911 fucking one immediately.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. I read that and I was like, is this for real? Like, is this for real? For real?
It has to be.
Yeah.
It really does.
I think it could be for sure.
It could be.
It actually makes it more believable.
He was
that
keeping
he's
it in
doing
the
it for
kitchen
something.
and keeping it in the kitchen, which is because you wouldn't think that you would keep it in there,
No,
right?
and
No one's
often?
jerking off in the kitchen. He's getting the jar to jerk off and then taking it back to the kitchen.
Wow.
Imagine. But on my search, on my quest to find this Reddit thread, I found a lot. I found a lot of shit. Apparently, this is not an isolated incident. Apparently, other people come in jars. Apparently, I saw one that was a wife who found out that her husband was shitting in jars and keeping them.
Come on.
And they were arranged according to color and consistency.
No.
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
I
Get a fucking hobby.
I had a-
fucking gross ass.
I had
gross
a
ass.
childhood friend, and I'm not going to shout her name out on the podcast, but she used to take toilet paper and wrap it around her hand, and when she pooped onto the toilet paper, and then she would wrap it like swaddling, and there were her little babies that she kept in the
I swear to God.
top drawer of her dresser. She had little
Christina,
poop babies.
you cannot. You're lying to me.
What?
I am not. I am not. I swear to God. And it's the same friend whose sister like hit me with a brick because they made a carnival one time, and then they said I wasn't invited, and they threw a brick at me.
What was your childhood like? What was going on in your childhood? What was happening in Ohio? I cannot.
Anyways, I do know people that have played with poop.
No, your little poop babies.
Yep. In the top drawer of her dresser, just open it up and it's lined
As a
up.
parent,
Some
what
were
would
long,
you do?
some were
Wait,
short.
No. I hate this episode so much.
I know we should add a
I
trigger
hate it
warning.
here. I hate it here.
What do you do?
I hate
I mean, okay, so like obviously, like the cum jar lady, she's getting divorced.
Got to.
right?
She asked for advice at the end of that Reddit thread, but I'm like, what advice can be given? Like, you gotta. We're done.
Yeah.
Like I could never trust you.
No,
again,
the only
ever.
advice is get the fuck out.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Honestly, too, I do find, at least with my own attraction, when it's off, it's off.
Oh, yeah, we're
it doesn't
done
come
here.
back. So like, just that visual of him doing that in the jar, and then like, I don't know, it would be too much for me to overcome, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, no. Yeah.
I would never trust him again.
I would never trust him again. Like the coming in the jar is one thing, right? You said that. Like the coming in the jar is one thing, although for me, there would be something about just knowing that there's just like a rogue jar of rancid cum somewhere in my house. That I would have, I think I would have an issue with.
Oh my God.
But I do feel like that's something that you could work out, maybe get some therapy together or something. But I'm like,
Together.
Yeah, like couples.
No, I'm not with you anymore. Go get your own therapy by yourself. We're done
I'm
here.
not talking about post dosing. I'm talking about he was just keeping a jar of cum in the house.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't know.
If he
Have you
wasn't
met me?
dosing you-
Absolutely. I don't know.
yeah.
Or yeah.
Y'all better talk to Chris just in case. I'm like,
That's it.
not in my fucking house.
No, I
That's
would need a bigger house. Like right now, being in a 1-bedroom apartment, it's not big enough for a jar of cum to exist.
no,
you know what I mean?
excited.
Like we'd need at least a 3-bedroom with an attached garage. I feel like
you
that's
also-
enough space between me and the jar of cum.
You have too many animals in your house
Oh.
to have
Oh my
a jar of cum just around. I just feel like you're
No.
There's
God. Rose would fucking find that in a minute.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
dirty ass.
Oh my God.
so anyway.
Wow.
I think it was Rachel Esquivel who
Rachel,
tagged
that
us in that.
is-
So thanks
that-
a lot.
Dirty, dirty.
I am like tears coming out of my eyes right now. That
Ugh.
is, you kind of hope it is copy pasta or whatever, like
Creepypasta?
Creepypasta. I'm shooketh. I can't barely.
Like, I can't words.
I can't words, but yeah, just for humanity's sake, you're like, that's not really happening. No one's doing that
I can
with
close
pancakes.
my eyes to that with pancakes. You would never be able to go to IHOP ever again.
No, crepes ruined
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh.
Anything with batter, just waffles.
Okay, that's...
Wow. What an opening, and how to get away from this, because I don't even want to think about this for the fuck, marry, kill section.
No, we can't. There's no way to spin this into a fuck, marry,
No.
kill situation.
No.
There is not.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just think of 3 hotties on the scene right now. Like, we had line cook summer. Does anyone know what the vibe for fall is? What is your
Is
what
it
is your
lumberjack fall again?
Fall guy. Seems to be a lot of long-haired, like Ren fair kind of guys, like Daemon Targaryen and The Witcher's coming back with Henry Cavill.
This
and
is a very
Lord of the
fantasy
Rings
heavy. We could do Men of Fantasy because I do feel like I feel like a lot of fantasy is going on right now. You've got like Rings of Power, you know,
You had
House of the
Sandman.
Dragon, Sandman, a lot going on in the fantasy realm. Witcher, which I haven't watched, but
Henry Cavill with that long hair.
He's so good looking.
Wow. Yeah.
he is hot in The Witcher. Yes,
I don't know anything about the character though.
me neither. Not a thing. I mean, leather pants though, looking good.
You're like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a mistake. It's a mistake to throw Daemon Targaryen in the mix, but I feel
He is
like
so hot though.
like it has to happen.
Holy
I haven't watched
crap,
any
he's
of
so
that
hot.
yet. What if he's bad? Is he bad?
Oh, he's bad.
Oh, he's terrible.
Oh,
He's
great.
awful. He's a murdering, incestuous
yeah.
piece of shit.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
It's Game of Thrones. You can
Yeah,
right.
you can't escape it. I am rewatching Game of Thrones right now.
Oh, the original one?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. No, the first season, absolutely stellar. I
Yeah.
think it was,
the first few seasons. I feel like the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones are pretty good.
yeah.
You know, and then after that, it's like,
All right. So you're picking Daemon Targaryen. I think I will go with Halbrand from Lord of the Rings.
who's he? Sorry.
He is the king of the Southlands.
Okay.
He just hooked up with Galadriel,
Oh, in the new
the new
okay,
Lord of the
okay,
Rings.
okay, okay.
Yeah. That actor is pretty good looking. He kind of reminds me if you ordered Aragorn off of Wish.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Let's look up the actor's name to give him a shout out. Played by Charlie Vickers.
Oh yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, he's got fantasy man, dirty guy, hot guy energy.
Yeah.
for
In
sure.
continuing with the Line Cook summer vibe, we advise you to just grow your hair out a little bit. I mean, then you can go right into Ren Fair Fall
Yeah.
and you're good to
Yeah,
go.
Ren
You're
Fair
still on
Fall.
brand.
Man, we are in a place as a society right now, truly. It's just we want dirty men that look like they smell a
They're
little bit.
getting ready for, like Mad Max.
Yeah, we really are preparing. We're like, who looks most equipped to handle the apocalypse? That's who we're
Exactly.
going for.
need-
We're not even picking elves. We're like straight up.
Just really dirty men.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of any fantasy stuff that I'm watching
Right.
lately.
Mhm.
Gosh, what there was the new Dune movie that came out. That was, I guess that's not new though. That's like kind of old.
It doesn't have to be new. I mean, and there's another Dune movie coming out soon.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, you got the Chalamet.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah, go for
You
it.
can go for it. What's his name in that? I forget.
Mr. Dune guy.
He's
Is that
It's
not
like
it?
Paul. It's
Paul.
it's like-
Yeah, yes, it's Paul.
Paul
Yeah.
Atreides.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's such a like that's your fantasy name. Because usually I was
Right,
watching a
right.
TikTok and it made me laugh so hard because it was a book talk TikTok and they were like me reading a fantasy novel and then they were like, and then I traveled to the kingdom of Mish because
Right.
that's what I do when I'm reading. I'm like, I'm not going to try and pronounce this, try and
Yeah.
pronounce any of these names, and then there's always like a Carl.
Yeah.
like it thrown
You're
in.
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Said Paul. What?
What?
Okay, so we got Matt Smith. Are we doing the characters or the actors? Let's just do the
Oh,
actors
okay.
because I think it'll
Okay,
be
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know all the
You're-
characters.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, let's do
All
that.
right, so we got Charlie Vickers, we got
Okay.
Matt Smith, and we have
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Well, this is actually easy for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm marrying
Well,
Matt Smith.
I know.
Of
I was
course,
like, wait,
yeah.
of course we know what you're
Of course, yeah.
Ooh, hot, nerdy,
British.
Where
You name
like
it.
literally the pyramid of hotness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for you.
Christina. So yeah, I'm marrying him. I'm gonna fuck Charlie Vickers
Okay.
because
Hot.
hot and kind of like dirty, rugged handsomeness. Looks Timothy Chalamet's just too young
Yeah.
and too,
Too sweet.
I feel like
I
I'll
don't
break
know.
him.
Yeah,
Me too.
I don't know that he's sweet.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as like a sweet guy, which is not that I think that anything bad about him. I just
No.
don't think he's like sweet. Like I think that
He might be a little dirtier than we.
Zendaya's boyfriend is sweet.
True.
Right?
Okay.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, that guy
He's
seems sweet.
nice.
Timothée Chalamet seems like a fuckboy for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Like, which
true.
is why I'm like, I wouldn't marry Timothée Chalamet because I'm like, he's not done. He's not done yet. He's still
he's, like,
fucking
gonna,
around.
Like, quote, like, weird stuff to you, like, oh, I just got done reading Lord Byron or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? And you're like, I
Yeah.
don't know, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is also, I feel like, a pretty branch on the line cook summer tree.
Oh,
You know,
totally. Yeah.
So with that said, I'm going to fuck Timothée Chalamet
There you go.
because I do feel like he's got like
He does have he takes darker, more serious roles.
Uh-huh,
For
and
sure.
I feel like he might take himself too seriously, though, which makes it.
I don't know. I get line cook vibes from him.
Really?
To me, yeah. I'm like he looks like he's got skinny strength.
like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's skinny strong for sure.
skinny strong.
Yeah. I'm gonna marry Matt Smith as well. I just like him. I think he's funny.
Yes,
I think he's talented. He's British. He looks like he's got a little bit of a darkness somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Even in interviews, I'm like, you're hiding something. He's got a face that looks like it's hiding
Yeah.
something.
he's got
Hopefully
just
not a jar of cum.
world. Oh my god,
What? Oh, did you say cum jar? I swear to God.
Hopefully not a jar of cum.
Oh, God.
he's got a world class smirk.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
And
a
he
very
does-
good smirk.
He does that thing where he like looks down
Like
and like
through
up,
through
Yes.
his lashes.
like through his lashes, like yeah, which is always like
Oh,
there's
hello.
something going on in there. And then what's his name?
Oh, Charlie Vickers.
Charlie Vickers. Yeah, I mean,
you couldn't even remember his name.
exactly. Nothing against him or anything.
He really is like, and even his character is like, you know, he's the king of the South that doesn't really want his throne, and I'm like, really? Did they just really order Aragorn from Wish? And they
It's
just
a real sad boy energy that I'm like, I'm good.
personally, I think his character is going to end up being bigger than it is, but I don't want to spoiler alert it for anybody, you know. But
What about you, Cass?
Yeah, I think that I might. I as well am going to marry Matt Smith.
Feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels right. He does have a bit of a spoiled energy about him.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I wonder what his family is like.
I'm actually going to marry Vickers.
Okay.
He seems rugged and real.
He does seem real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to fuck Matt Smith though.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That energy is an energy that like something comes out at night
Yeah. If you know what I mean.
with Matt Smith.
yeah. If someone was like, he's
He turns
actually
into
a
a-
werewolf,
Oh,
I'd be like,
shut up!
yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
I feel that.
Cool.
fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then, yeah, Timothée Chalamet, as much as he's good looking, I'm getting all only fuckboy energy off of him.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying all the, a fantasy is always, I have to be in the right mood for it.
Right.
But I do feel like I'm in that mood right now. Like I'm I'm
fall.
all about it. Fall, there is something about fall that's just like, I want to be like
Perfect.
cozy with dragons.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at.
There's a new Hocus Pocus coming out.
Witches.
Did you hear that they're actually going to do a Sister Act 3 too?
What?
Yeah.
I thought they
Yeah.
did Sister Act 3.
No, Whoopi Goldberg said that Hocus Pocus 2 inspired them to do a new
good.
Sister Act movie.
I
I
love
just
it.
read it,
That's
so I
very
don't know
exciting.
anything else about it, but I'm hopeful.
Wait,
that
is there
that's
going to be a
true.
ghost too?
I hope. Maybe. They haven't remade that one. They've remade
I
pretty
hope they
much
don't.
everything else. You
I
know?
don't need them to remake it.
I love Sister Act.
Yes.
Those movies are so good.
They're
Both
so.
of them.
I watched those movies so much in
Oh,
my
yeah.
childhood.
On VHS.
Oh, so many times.
Be kind, rewind.
That's right.
We do have a new patron.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And it's first name only, but we would love to welcome Emily to our Patreon
Yay.
family. Thank you so much for joining us on Patreon. We hope you are enjoying the content over there. We're getting your rewards out to you ASAP. And if you have any suggestions on anything that you want to see on the Patreon, any Tainted Love movies or Fuck, Marry, Kill suggestions, please send them our way. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we just did 9.5 weeks. That's coming out.
Bitter
It
about
came
it.
out Monday. So really, you definitely want to tune into that.
That was
a journey
It
for
was a
sure.
doozy. My
I'm mad.
God.
I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Like I'm like filled with a fury that will never go
and
away.
you can't be mad at me because I had not
No,
seen
and
it.
I can't. I know.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
It's not like I was like, oh my God, you guys, there's this movie I love.
You're like, what if it...
Oh,
I would be questioning things about our friendship if you were like, this is my favorite movie of
Wow,
all
your
time.
favorite.
I'd be like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Are you okay?
No. No. Oh, no.
Ooh. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Yeah. And we're back. All right, Christina.
All right, I've got a fun one for you. Okay. 25 man, had gone on 4 dates with this girl, 22, and they all went really well. There were no red flags to speak of, except for one that I realized in hindsight. For our first date, we painted canvases at a park and really connected.
That sounds fun.
That does sound nice.
Right? I've not heard that. That's really, really cute. Second date was mini golf and sushi, and we connected even further.
I like all these dates so far. Would enjoy.
Third date was going to Target to buy food to make a nice dinner together.
That's actually cute too.
Yeah.
Like it's an activity.
These are all good ones.
Yeah, he's good at picking.
You're killing the game, man.
Picking group activities. I feel like I'm at like VBS summer camp.
Yes.
This is gonna be awesome. I love crafts.
Me too.
On the 4th date, I went over to her place for a movie night and ended up staying the night at her place.
Yeah. I like all of these things.
She had this really nice 2-bedroom apartment, and I asked how she's affording it, to which she said her roommate just left after a falling out and was still paying half the rent.
Yeah, a
She's like,
22-year-old
I'm a squatter.
Amazing. The next morning, I wake up and am still in my boxers when the door unlocks to her apartment and opens.
Nope.
In walks the ex-roommate, who just happens to be a 6-foot-something bearded
Boyfriend.
man in his 30s.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Behind him are 4 of his friends
No.
and his dad, who
No.
flew in from
Stop.
Florida.
No. No.
He says he's there to take back his shit and that after this, he never wants to see her again. She starts screaming at him that it wasn't their agreed upon time. And he says he had to come unannounced because he was worried she would steal his stuff or throw it out. So he walks in and starts taking literally every furniture item, 2 TVs, the couch, the king-size bed.
You're in your boxers. They're like, sir, can you get off the couch?
Sit off the bed,
Just
please.
trying to have coffee. Coffee tables, all the bar stools, silverware, fucking everything.
No.
This girl starts getting physical and
No.
throws glasses of water at the
Okay,
people
no.
outside.
I have
Can
to say,
I
why
leave?
wouldn't you leave? Like,
Can
I'm
I
like,
leave?
This
Did
seems
he
like
take your clothes? Because get your goddamn clothes on and get the fuck out of there.
yeah,
why
this
are
feels
you
like not
still
for
hanging
me.
out?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, they're 4 dates in. They seem like they've really connected, but this is mess. You know what I mean? I still think
no.
it's too early to be involved in
Messy.
mess
Yeah.
like this. Woo.
It's too. I think it might be too early for her to be dating yet.
Yeah, is this an ex-boyfriend or was it a roommate?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay.
She starts throwing glasses of water at people outside who are laughing hysterically. Eventually, she throws dumbbells out the door and nearly takes a guy out.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm just stunned and standing there in awkwardness.
Get out.
Here we go. She starts having a conversation with the guy about how he groomed her by asking her out when she was a junior in high school and he was 25 at the time.
My.
Oh my God.
He-
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
These are their stories. He says that she cheated on him and she corrects him that she did in fact cheated on him and it was with 12 guys.
Oh, goddamn.
This guy's in boxers just like
The
He is.
neighbors.
He's like, oh, I could have left. I chose.
Can you
to stay.
imagine if these were your neighbors? How quick would you be out of bed and your ears up against that wall?
I'm in the blinds like
12 guys. God damn.
Then she comes over and tries to start making out with me after lighting up a blunt to calm down.
No.
I turn my head and refuse it. It's just some weird move to make him jealous. While they're in the other room, the guys at the door look at me and I kind of shrug and we all laugh. They told me they felt for me.
Oh, God.
Then as the guy's finally leaving after getting his things, which is like, how long was it? They were like in and out, like packing stuff up. The guy is finally leaving after getting his things, she grabs a box of condoms, throws them out the door at him, saying, "Here's your extra small ones."
Bitch, everybody in this apartment complex.
He did go younger.
To make things worse, the girl's dad now shows up and essentially puts her into her place that the guy had a right to be there legally. I had to shake the dad's hand, and he knew that I had just spent the night with her. Then
Still in your boxers. Didn't even change yet. You're just like, well.
No, then I got the hell out of there. It was a wild ride, but at last, she was not my soulmate.
She was straight up groomed by a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, I don't think she's wrong about that.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
But you can't throw dumbbells at people.
Yeah, and
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. And also, it's like, yeah, if I'm the guy, I'm not sticking around for any of that. That's too much. I mean, I'm curious.
Me too. That's the problem, isn't it?
I do love mess.
I do love
Shady,
mess.
you're just like, I'm just checking my phone. Meanwhile, it's like up, and you're like doing it for the gram.
Oh God, yeah, that TikTok would go viral for sure.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Gosh.
I'd watch it.
Okay. I was with a woman for 10 years, and after we broke up, I took about 8 or 9 months to figure out who I was before I started dating again. Responsible.
Mm-hmm.
The problem for me was that I worked 6 days a week and wasn't meeting anyone the old-fashioned way, so I decided to try an online dating site. I matched up with a woman, and after a couple days of talking briefly about ourselves, and I mean briefly, I asked her out. She accepted my proposal, and I told her about this great place I'd love to go to. We both decided
Target.
Target. We both decided that it would be a nice place for a first date. I meet her outside the restaurant. She took a lift there, and we got a table quickly. I'm not a rich or famous guy, but I go there fairly often, and all the hostesses and waitresses know me.
He just walks in like a celebrity.
Hey.
Oh, Frank's back. Guys, Frank's here.
Cheers theme song starts playing. So I was sat before people who were before me. I felt awkward about that, but what the hell? I was single and on a first date with someone new in 10 years, so I went with it. We sat down, ordered an appetizer and some wine before our meals. The conversation was amazing, and I felt a real connection with this woman. Then it happened. I had just put a piece of the most delicious ribeye I'd ever had in my mouth when she said, "I really like you and you seem fun. After dinner, would you like to go back to my place and have sex?"
Oh,
whoa.
Okay.
I was flabbergasted, but before I could say anything else, she continued with, "But my husband has to watch."
Whoa.
Oh, there it is.
He's
Well-
like chewing on the steak.
He's like, is he good looking?
The ribeye got stuck in my throat and I started choking. Luckily, the man at the next table saw this and gave me the Heimlich maneuver.
Just right on her face.
And it came up. Now with everyone staring and clapping, I shook the guy's hand and asked if I could pay for his and his date's meal. He thanked me for the offer but declined. I insisted that I at least buy them a round of drinks, and he accepted that. I sat back at my table, looked across at her, and calmly and politely declined. I told her that I had no idea that she was married and wasn't into that sort of thing. She said she was sorry and she thought she had it on her profile. I asked for the check because I didn't see this going anywhere that I wanted it to go. As we were walking out of the restaurant, she then asked, "What if I just gave you a blowjob in the car while I was on the phone with him?"
Oh,
Wow.
my.
Compromise.
I mean,
Compromise.
Listen, life's all about compromises.
Listen.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
That's right. That's right.
We were really looking forward to this.
How about a blowy?
Gotta call him first. Beep, boop, 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 boop.
And he's going to say he didn't, but that motherfucker did.
It's like, all right. Get it.
Yeah, make sure he's
No
muted.
video call,
Yeah,
though.
Yeah. He can't be on speaker. I declined that offer too, and then told her that she had two options. One, she could call her husband to pick her up, or two, I could order her a lift. She seemed upset about that, but there was no way I was going to let her in my car
Nope.
or go to her house, even if it was just to drop her off. So she decided to call her husband. I got her in my car and left. Never answered any of her calls or texts. She was very persistent. I have to give her that.
Wow.
They're like, you are just our type. You're a unicorn. It's so hard to find somebody who's right for both of us.
Wow.
But you didn't. That's why I'm like, you have to put that stuff
It's
in
gotta
your
be
profile.
up front and center. The picture should be of you and your husband.
So many people that would be okay with that. You know what I mean? It's not that like,
Yeah.
you know, big of a kink. It happens all the time.
The number of books about it.
There are whole fucking apps that you can be on.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, well, we got our story submitted to us, but I can't tell you the name of it. I don't want to give it away.
Oh, okay.
I went out with this one guy many years ago, 1990 something, who seemed perfectly normal at the start of the date, but made me fear for my safety by the end of it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
This is so seasonally topical. It's a good one.
Okay.
He picked me up and we went to a local seafood restaurant where we had a really good conversation and got along very well. We had such a great time that when he finished with dinner and he asked if I wanted to go to his house to hang out and watch a movie, I agreed. He was handsome and seemed perfectly harmless, you know, in that like Ted Bundy kind of way.
Huh?
Oh.
Wait. Hold, time out.
As he drove to his place, every so often, he would roll down his window and lightly burp, a shrimp burp. Oh no.
What? Wait.
Apparently.
Did you just say a short burp?
Shrimp burp.
Apparently he loved the stuff, but it didn't agree with him.
Oh.
He's got a mild shellfish allergy.
Okay, so that's gross, but hey, it's a medical condition, so I pretended to ignore it.
Oh my God.
We arrived at his place, sat on the couch, and continued our conversation and watched TV. He mentioned his email address, which had something to do with the word wolf in it, and he went on to tell me that he really loves wolves. I mean, really loves
I just
wolves.
pictured
Okay.
like the shirts with the howling.
Wolf on it. Oh no.
He said that he thought he was part wolf and even howled a few times to show that he was one in spirit with them.
What would you do if a man started howling on a day?
Wow.
No, Christina.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
weird, but whatever floats his boat, right?
Dude, this guy must have been so hot.
So hot. She's making so many excuses. I'm like,
he's burping seafood and howling like a wolf. So far, this episode is major cringe. Like, major cringe.
Captain.
Exactly.
This should have been a red flag, but I was younger and more polite back then. So I nodded and chatted with him. At some point, he mentioned that he liked to draw cartoons and was really proud of his wolf sketches.
great. He's bringing out his sketchbook. Let me show you my drawing.
Really good at it and asked if I'd like to see his drawings. Of course, I said.
Simon, and I like to do drawings.
He went into his bedroom and returned with his thick sketch pad and his drawings.
Oh, hobbies are great. I'm trying.
You have
so
to be. Are you Jack Dawson? Because other than that, I don't want you pulling out your sketch pad at me. If
Draw
you're
me like one of your French guys.
if you are good, like really good at sketching, then I'm like, yes, I want to see your drawings. If
It's
it
the
is,
same as guitar.
Yes.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
you better blow me fucking away.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pull that shit out,
the first date is not a talent show, okay? Like,
you gonna go show me your karate next? Is that what's next?
He warned me that some of them contain nudity.
Oh.
So I was
Oh,
prepared
no.
for a
Oh,
few
no.
few that might be considered intimate. The wolf images were part wolf, part man, really beefy men. Okay,
is-
whatever.
what is
I
happening?
need a picture. I want a picture.
He went back into his bedroom to retrieve another sketch pad. I thought I'd heard him talking to someone, and he seemed kind of sketchy, literally. But I told
There's a
myself,
Tumblr somewhere with these drawings. I fucking know
need to
there
see
is.
it.
I know it.
I told myself that I was just being paranoid. I was creeped out, though. These images were even more erotic. Images of the beefy wolf men ravaging partly nude women and heaving breasts barely covered by thin material.
Oh my God. Did we just have to read this romance book?
Yes. Finally,
my God.
there are sketches of nude women being tortured and impaled.
Oh,
with
my
various
God.
oversized implements. Oh my God.
No.
They were extremely horrific. These women were excruciating pain. They were like very serious, hardcore BDSM
Why
images.
would you think I would want to see this on our first date? It is my first time in your apartment.
I do
Are
good
you
drawings.
that clueless? Like, no.
No.
He
No.
kept getting closer and closer to me, and his breathing grew harder. Without actually asking, he seemed to want to know if the images are turning me on.
It smells
if he
like
had
shrimp. He's just breathing on you. Shrimp
shrimp
breath.
burp. Heavy breath, shrimp burp on your neck. Ew.
It's warm.
Oh, God.
He wanted to know if the images were turning me on and if he had the chance of performing such acts on me. I closed the sketchbook and said it wasn't my thing. I wanted to get the heck out of there, but I was afraid to tell him to take the hell home immediately because I was afraid he would attack me and turn me into one of his sketches.
Oh, no.
I was also afraid that there might be somebody else in the house who was waiting for the attack. So I just pretended that everything was perfectly normal while I planned my escape. He knew that I didn't have to work the next day, so I couldn't use the old excuse of having to go home because I needed to wake up early. I told him that my aunt was in the hospital and that I had to get home because my family was taking shifts sitting with her and my turn was in a few hours and I needed to get home to change. He believed me and drove me home. Thank goodness. He called a few times to ask me on a second date, but I made excuses for why I couldn't. Eventually the calls stopped. I never did see him again. Thank goodness. After that experience, I learned to trust my gut, watch out for red flags, and keep myself safe. Years later, I went out with this other side who, unbeknownst to me, also had a thing for wolves.
And you're like,
He was into Anne Rice's vampire and werewolf novels and gifted me a box set of them. What is like?
What?
How do you attract
She's got
these
a
guys?
vibe.
You got a
She's
vibe.
got a real vibe.
The date went well, and I was back in my slutty years at the time. So we went back to my place to bang. We didn't get very far in my apartment before I lifted my skirt and pulled off my pants and got on all fours for some carnal fun in my living room. After my he thrusted harder and faster, and he threw his head back and howled to my ceiling.
No.
girl, you gotta sage the pussy.
No.
Like, you are.
You've had two men
Seriously.
howl on dates with you. I can't.
That is incredible.
Also, during sex.
She said, I can only imagine what my neighbors thought when they heard him go all Teen Wolf through their floor. It was all I could do not to laugh at the situation. And as soon as I could politely do it, I pushed him out of the apartment and burst out laughing as soon as my door was closed. I bet these guys consider themselves real alpha dogs, but they seem like total jackasses to me.
Wow. Wow.
Oh
No. I don't like that.
I don't
like that.
that. Add that to a list of like never would want that to happen to me. Someone's
No.
inside of you and howling.
Yeah. No.
It's
not
not
for
yum, not
me.
my kink. Yeah,
It's
not
not
my
for
thing.
me. But wow.
Well, I don't know that I would not be able to not stop myself from laughing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck is
Are you for real? Or wait, are you for real?
I'm fucking finding that Tumblr with those sketches. Just curious.
You want to see my pictures?
Want me to see my drawings?
of wolves?
Buff wolves.
Oh, wow.
Well, do you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with Tainted Love?
Yes.
And we're back. All right. Kick us off with the Tainted Love.
All right. Well, it took me a while to find a Halloween appropriate one, but I think found one for
Nice.
spooky Halloween
I don't know
season.
why I'm scared. I'm like looking
I'm a
at you right
little
now
scared.
like I'm like scared. I think it was the energy before we started recording was like you were like, oh, I found it's a something. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean?
Well, so for Tainted Love, we're searching for, something specific that has to be something about dating or about relationships. And then, so then it gets narrowed down even further when we're like in Halloween, you want to give that like Halloween vibe.
It's so hard.
This one is one we have never covered a situation like this before.
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
This one rocked me a little bit.
Oh.
So here we go. Halloween night 2004 in Napa, California, saw 3 best friends handing out candy to trick-or-treaters that rang the bell at their Dorset Street home. Around 11 p.m., all 3 decided to turn in. Adrian Insogna, Leslie Mazzara upstairs, and Laura Mianzin in her downstairs bedroom. All would be quiet until around 2 a.m. Suddenly, Lauren was awakened. The light outside, the motion light, and her dog was stirring. And she's like, that's weird. But the neighbor's cat would sometimes trip the light. So she's like, she's kind of settling down. But then she hears a terrified scream. She crept,
horror movie.
She crept from her bed to head upstairs to investigate, but froze when she heard the sound of heavy footsteps running down the stairs toward her.
God damn it, no.
Terrified, she ran out back and hid in the yard, trying to keep still. She heard someone climbing out of the basement window and running off, so she regained her courage and went back into the house.
No!
She heard crying from Adrian's room and discovered Leslie face down in a pool of blood and Adrian crouched behind the bed, barely alive. Lauren tried to call 911, but the house phone was dead.
No.
So she grabs her cell and runs to her car, terrified that the killer's still in the area.
Oh my God. I'd be so petrified.
It's a fucking horror movie, is it not?
Oh
Yes.
my
terrifying.
God.
So when paramedics arrived, Leslie had already passed and Adrian would die shortly after, both having been stabbed repeatedly.
Oh my God.
Lauren had not seen the attacker's face, so police had little to go on. They did find some blood at the scene that wasn't the girls and a bunch of cigarette butts outside. Since none of the girls smoked, they theorized that the attacker had smoked them as he had lain in wait.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
So Napa loses its shit.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's just not,
Holy
murders
shit.
do not happen
That
in
is
Napa.
not Napa energy.
No. And it's like this huge thing. They're like canvassing. They're like, was anyone strange in the neighborhood? Because I mean, Napa's like
you'd know.
nice. You would know,
it's a
but it
small
was
town-ish.
Halloween. So there were tons of people out and about, like taking their kids trick-or-treating and
In
what have
costumes,
you.
wearing masks.
Yeah, so no one noticed anything. And rumors start going everywhere. Like the girls, so Adrian is from the Napa community and like people know her. She's like a really smart, talented girl. She actually almost died when she was 16. She got into this horrible car accident where it rolled and her head hit the pavement.
Oh my God.
Brain like memory loss, like all that stuff, but she worked to overcome it. She was actually going to like be a civil engineer.
Oh my God.
So she is amazing. Everyone loved her. You know, she was just like a courageous, brave girl who had tons of friends. Her best friend, she actually met, like they worked together at the sanitation department. Her best friend, Lily Proudhome, like introduced her to a couple more girls. So the girls she lived with were like girls that had moved to the area. Like Leslie was this beauty queen from South Carolina who her mom like vacationed in Napa over the summer. And so she's like, come to Napa, you know, work out what you want to do, because she hadn't decided what she wanted to do with her life. They're all like 26. She's like, okay, she gets there. She gets a job at one of Francis Ford Coppola's wineries.
Amazing.
And just takes off. She suddenly has like a passion for the wine business. So she's going to do that. She meets this group of girls, Adrian and Lily, and they're like, yeah, we have an extra room. Come stay with us.
That's great.
Which is amazing until it's not. And then, you know, Lauren was a volleyball coach and Adrian used to play volleyball. So like, this is a really tight group of girlfriends. Police have nothing to go on. They're like, what is going on? Adrian lives kind of like a quiet life. She's kind of dating some guy named Christian. They're like on again, off again. And they're like, all right, like, let's interview you. Like, where were you? That kind of thing. Let's get your DNA. Not a match. Leslie, on the other hand, former beauty queen, they're like, she must be the one that they were targeting because she was killed first. So, and she has tons of guys that are just like obsessed with her, that love her. So it must be her. So they go all over the United States.
Oh, Jesus.
Interviewing. Like she's got people that like buy her luggage and buy her stuff. Like she is just giving like, she's one of those people that like, someone was saying that whenever you're around her, you feel like the most important person.
Oh,
you feel
I love
like
that energy.
you're her best friend. You feel like you're like the love of her life.
Some people
because
are
she's just
so gifted that way.
Yeah.
She's just a warm person, but she wasn't really like seriously dating anyone. She just had a lot of people
In her
orbiting
circle.
her.
Yeah.
So they have to check it out. In fact, one of the creepiest things, and they thought they had solved it, her ex-boyfriend had been contacting her, but then his father had also been contacting her. And in fact, had called her 4 times that night.
Ew, what's wrong with you?
Her ex was
That
giving
is-
real Stephen Powell vibes.
Oh,
So
totally.
gross.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
That is
That's
disgusting.
disgusting.
So they
Yeah.
had to go and like rule that person out because they were like, well, that's weird.
gotta
That's
be
got to be exactly. When I
Also-
watched it, I was like,
That's
Yeah,
him.
that's him.
It's him.
Case closed. I mean, do you think that the ex-boyfriend knew, or do you think the police like knock, knock, knock? Hey, you've
actually,
been
we don't want to talk
contacted-
to
Yeah.
you. We want to talk to your dad.
I
What?
would.
Papa.
That would
No.
be too much. But yeah, it's like nothing's going anywhere. They end up interviewing like 1,500 people, taking countless DNA samples. Nothing's matching. They don't know what to do. Meanwhile, like the whole town is like grieving, but Lily's like, you know, I feel like this has shown me that life is too short. This was my best friend, and I think that I should get married. I know I've been putting off getting married to my long-term boyfriend, but life's too short. So I let's go down the aisle. I hate that Adrian's not here, but let's ask Adrian's mother to read something at our wedding and have her be a part of this. And it was a beautiful celebration. Tons of people from Napa came. And so it was like a lovely ceremony, and things are moving on. People are like, okay.
I wish you could describe
I don't trust
the
this guy.
side eye me and Cassie are giving each other right now. There's some real
Oh, yeah.
side eye energy.
It's weird that prompted that. Because then I'm like, I mean, had you guys been talking about it for a long time? And he's like, she's
Well, yeah,
like, I have a really
weirdly
good
enough,
situation, or
they were supposed to get married on November 1st, 2004. So the,
Oh, so
the
the
day
next day.
after, the next day.
Oh.
But they had canceled it like prior to the wedding. The
Oh,
wedding
okay.
was already like kind of off.
okay.
And so, but this murder and stuff like that made Lily realize like, oh my gosh, I never know what's going to happen. Like, let's
Well, I
do
want to know
this.
why they canceled the wedding the first time then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, to be honest, I don't think that that's necessarily that unreasonable of like, you know, sometimes things shake you
Sure.
and make you realize life is precious and short or whatever. And it
Yeah, and he'd
prompts you to do things.
really like been there for her and like helped comfort her through her grief, and that kind of really showed her that he could step up and be there for her in a crisis.
Yeah,
So-
I just think I've seen enough episodes of Dateline and Snapped to know
Yeah.
that like this is sus.
Something
yeah,
sus.
there's something fishy in this
Okay.
situation. Something shrimp burpy about this whole thing.
Where's the jar?
I hate this episode.
So it's September the following year. The community's nervous because Halloween's coming up. They've already been like talking about like, will the Halloween killer strike again?
Oh.
Because there's no leads. People are freaking out. Nobody wants to trick or treat or do anything. There's so many rumors about who it can be. Police are like pulling their hair out. They have no leads. They finally decide, like a new investigator takes over, and he's looking at all the physical evidence, and he's like, the cigarette butts. We haven't released them, and they're kind of special, and I think that we should release them. Telling people that they're actually, the brand of them are Camel Turkish Golds, which had just come out like not that long before the murder. So it was a very specific type, like, you know,
Yep.
what cigarettes like your husband would smoke or whatever. Like, what if we released the fact that these were this brand of cigarettes? Like, it might prompt somebody to be like, wait a second, like, I know somebody that
yeah.
smokes those.
Oh my God, my brother only ever smokes
Yeah.
Turkish Gold.
And it's just like, it's such a random brand. I totally remember when
Yeah.
the Turkish Golds came
I
out.
remember
You know
too,
what I
yeah.
mean? So they release it, and like late that night, Lily
I
comes
knew
in
it.
with Eric, And she's like, Eric has something he'd like to talk to you about.
She dragged him in there by the ear.
Pretty much. And he then tells them the story, basically confesses to murdering Adrian and Leslie. And police are like, what? The community is like, what?
Why?
Adrian's mother, Arlene, is like,
I spoke at your
fucking
wedding.
Fucking wedding?
No.
So they're like,
What
happened? And so he's like, I was just really drunk. And he
No.
kind of like
No.
goes
That's not
through
what
the
you do when you're
crime.
drunk.
You don't just like go
No.
stabby stab
Nope,
because you've
no.
had like a few too many.
Sir.
Oh, just wait. Yeah. So they're like, okay. And he kind of gives like details of the crime and they're not quite right or
Had he
whatever.
been fucking
they're
with-
like, this is so strange. And so they do a little bit more digging. Now, they came under fire because he was in that circle.
Yeah.
And I mean, 1,500 fucking interviews and they never fucking interviewed
How?
him
Okay.
at
How?
all. They left him one message in almost a year and never followed up about it.
Which
they didn't take
also-
his DNA, nothing.
Also, sus that you're not. If my fiance's best friend got murdered and she was in that house and all this shit happened,
Yeah.
I'm helping the police in every way I can. If they leave me a message, I'm following up on that message. So
Absolutely.
weird that he didn't follow up on the message in the first place.
Right. Yeah. So it had literally, he was not on anybody's radar. So who was he? Eric Copple had moved to the Napa community when he was like in his teens, and he was just a really super shy, introverted, very socially anxious
you
kid.
Can't trust an introvert. I've said it, and I'll
No,
say it.
I'm an introvert. So like he did not take that move well. He did not
Right.
take the transition well. He did not have any friends until he met Lily, and he actually worked up the nerve and asked her to senior prom, and she went and they started dating after that. And when I tell you his entire world was Lily, I mean it. He did not interact with people. The only friends that he had were friends of Lily's when she could actually drag him out of the house.
Red flag.
Red flag. Huge
Yeah.
red flag.
He drank constantly to the fact that Lily was like begging him, like, I know you have issues with anxiety and depression, and it's okay. I love you and support you, but you have to get help. You have to go to counseling. You have to go to therapy. You have to do something. And he fucking wouldn't. So,
But and drinking is not
Yeah.
going to help anxiety and depression.
no, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Much worse. And he was doing like 10 beers a day, like 10 drinks per day. And she's like,
Dad?
she was like, we got to call off the wedding. And she had been talking with her best friend, Adrian, her you ain't shit.
Oh, God.
The men
yeah.
ain't shit friend.
Oh, no.
Adrian's like, no, fuck that. You can't get married.
It's
like,
Keegan.
You're
I'm gonna get-
26. You're not going to tie yourself to somebody that's not going to fucking help themselves. And in fact, since you called off the wedding, how about you and me? We take a vacation, your honeymoon, to Australia.
Oh.
And so she was going with her friends
This would be me.
to
100%.
Australia. And they were going to go in a few weeks in November. So that Halloween night, Lily and Eric go to a Halloween party with her friends where he gets shit-faced and just fucking embarrasses her at this party. Driving home, she's white-knuckling, like so fucking pissed at him, is enraged, drops him off. She's like, get the fuck out of the car. So they have been living together, even though the wedding was called off. She's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to my parents' house. And she just drives off. She goes to her parents. So Eric is like drunk, pissed off, blames Adrian for coming in between him and Lily, works up the nerve, grabs a knife and some zip ties. And I'm like, what the fuck do you think you're going to do with those? That's creepy.
Also, look, I'm not going to say there are zip ties in this house, certain I think somewhere, but I'm like in a drunken haze, you know right where the zip ties are in your
Right.
house?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
I was going to say that.
I'm
I
sorry.
feel like ours are somewhere too, just because of cable management and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
but I'm just like, they're not anywhere
drunk, I'm not gonna
convenient.
find-
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to have to dig through the hall closet or something. But yeah, so he goes there and he's drunkenly standing outside of their house,
Terrifying.
smoking cigarettes,
Chain
just chain
smoking,
smoking,
yeah.
working up the courage to go in there. And the only reason why Lauren is alive, he didn't know that there were 3 women in the house because one had just moved in. He thought there were still only two. And he went into the wrong room first. He went into Leslie's room first, attacked her while she was sleeping. So she has hardly any defensive wounds. Adrian heard it and ran in and just fucked him up, like attacked him, pretty much like doing everything that she could. It wasn't, enough to save her life, obviously, but it scared him. He ran off. When he got back, he was still like drunk. He took off all of his clothes, put them in a pit, like a fire pit that they had out back, burned all of them, and then spent the next 11 months basically like laying low and being, as supportive as possible. And he got if his goal was to get Lily back by taking her friends away from her, it fucking worked.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the police released that detail about the cigarettes, he got so freaked out that he started writing suicide notes to people. He was going to take himself out. His brother was like, no, you're not committing suicide. Even Lily was like, no, we're going to march you to the police station. And so he goes, they decide, Arlene, Adrian's mother, says no death penalty. We want him to suffer in jail.
Right. Let's not give him what he wants.
So he pleads guilty. He gets 2 life sentences, and Lily divorces him. And that is the story of the Halloween killer of Napa.
Wow.
Eric Copple.
What?
Wow. How fucked up is that?
Shit.
And she had no idea. She fucking married him.
Yeah. Wow.
The guy that murdered her best friend.
The amount of therapy you are going to need to get over something like that.
Yeah.
That's... and Adrian's poor mom.
Oh my God, Arlene.
For being at their wedding, she's like, they interviewed her on the Snap. She's like, I read scripture at their wedding. And I was just
I have goosebumps.
Oh my God. And I'm just like,
the guilt that Lily would feel too. Like, it's not her fault, of course,
No,
but it's just like
no.
the guilt you would feel after something like that. Like,
and these friends did nothing but support their friend and saying, you can do better. Mm-hmm. You can do so much better. And they were fucking so right.
Yep.
They
Friends
saw
know,
it.
man.
Friends know.
I tell you what.
So yeah, you got to listen to your you ain't shit friend and also look out for them. Because I've never seen or read a story where they were the targets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was so obsessed with Lily that he wouldn't do anything to hurt her, but he was like, anybody that's trying to take her away from me is
I bet it
up for
happens
grabs.
more than we know.
Right.
Like, I bet you that happens all the time.
It just terrified me. It just really, I was like,
I got really drunk. I'm sorry. It's not a good excuse for murder.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've been really drunk and never murdered anybody?
Yeah.
No.
A lot.
It does
so
not
many
come
times.
into my head as an activity to
No.
do.
You know what would be so fun right now, guys?
No.
No, it would not.
Yeah, this was somebody
That's been somebody that's hit in his
head for a while.
Yeah.
And it makes me think what other dark things he had because the fact that he brought zip ties too, it makes me think he had other thoughts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they were able to find out stuff about his motive by talking to Lily and by talking to other people around him, but he's never really commented on it. So who knows what kind of fucked up thoughts he was thinking.
You know what? I don't want to know.
No.
He can just sit and rot and keep his thoughts to himself.
He's got 2 life sentences. He's done. He will not be released. So
that's so sad.
And honestly, this guy doesn't deserve a platform to have what his thoughts are on it at this point, you know?
Absolutely. No.
What a piece of garbage. Woof.
Yes.
Well,
more major cringe. Yes. Spooky Halloween season. Look out for your friends. And if they are dating a piece of shit, make sure your windows are locked, I guess, is the moral of the story. I'm like trying to find the moral. Because nobody did anything wrong.
No.
You know?
No.
And so sad.
They had no way of knowing that he was capable of something like that.
Nobody
either.
Nobody looked at him.
Because
even the police, they were like, "This guy's fucking harmless. He's just a quiet
dangerous.
guy.
He just
no
seemed
criminal record.
shitty.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not dangerous. He's just shitty.
Yeah, like So the friend had no reason to think that she was in danger or Lily was in danger, like because she's just like, your boyfriend just fucking sucks.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't want to do anything. He's not helping himself. He doesn't. You know, you can do better. You're 26. Like, you're young. Yeah. Don't get tied down to this guy.
No. Wow. Yeah. Oh man, I need a palate cleanser after that. What are you watching?
Well.
Oh no, you guys.
Christina and I went and saw Smile.
Oh my God, did you go?
Yeah.
It was actually
It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
If you go to see a scary movie and the theater is full and it's rambunctious, that shit is fun.
It is. Yeah, it should be like a group experience like that. I wasn't sure at first. It depends on the scary movie too.
Right.
Like it has to be campy enough that makes sense. Like you can't go to like a psychological horror and have people acting a fool in there. But this type of movie, and Barbarian was the same way, where it's like there's enough shit going on that's like silly.
Don't go there.
Yeah,
like,
bitch, no.
Stay out. Stay out of there.
That it was a really good time.
And I knew it was going to be a good time too when that Nicole Kidman AMC thing came on, and like
sadness feels good in a place like this. Everyone losing their shit.
People were laughing. People were talking along with it, and I was like, "This is
actually
wonderful."
Might go to a scary movie in that scenario. That actually sounds fun.
Yeah.
That might be the only scenario.
This specific one would have terrified.
I think it would have scared you.
It would have broken your brain. There were some parts where I was just like.
Have I practiced that creepy ass smile though?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they sent me pictures.
Me and
last night.
Anthony sent her a picture, a selfie of us doing the smile last night. But yeah, I mean, it was. I would say that movie. I don't think it's a great. Like the writing's not great. Like there's all that stuff. But I would say the horror elements I enjoyed.
Oh,
I thought that they were good.
Yeah, I think. It is a little bit derivative of a couple other horror movies that are out. But overall, I thought it was fresh. It was well paced. There were some really good scares in it. And for that guy's like first feature length film, I'm like, thumbs up. It's a good addition to the horror genre.
This isn't a spoiler, but it's what made me just laugh was like there is a scene where a kid is looking out the window.
Seeing oh my God.
And it just, if anybody watches it, it made the entire theater laugh. We were all like,
we laughed so hard, too hard at that little kid being traumatized for life.
What about you, Cass?
Oh God. Geez, it's literally, I'm just had a lot going on the past couple weeks. So, I haven't watched anything really new. I mean, we've been just kind of going through our nightly thing is watching, Lucifer before you go to bed.
Oh,
yeah.
On.
So we're,
that guy's hot.
Yeah. Buddy cop show with the devil makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, tracks. The other thing is, sports. I'm of course I have a fantasy league, which
How's it
is
doing?
not doing well. I'm pretty furious. So yeah, literally that's my Sundays. I literally spend all Sunday in front of fantasy football, red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Which is very fun for me.
There you go. Hey, we love that. No, I love the TikTok you sent us of that baseball team.
Oh, it's so great.
I've seen a couple of their dance routines. I'm like, I would be entertained.
Brilliant.
Actually.
The way that I send you guys TikToks is like, because I don't watch TikToks almost all week. And then one day I watch TikToks and I send them all to you and you're like, we've seen all of them.
Yes. And you'll send
I'm like, this is hilarious.
In different chats, and I'm like, oh, Cassie got on TikTok
Cassie
today.
is scrolling on TikTok right now.
Listen, here's my thing. Why are you fuckers sharing that shit with me? Because that's funny.
Oh yeah, no, I literally am just like scrolling through.
Oh
yeah, there hasn't been any good drama this week. Last week, the linemen,
the Try Guys,
and
the
Try Guys.
This week, last week was the Try Guy drama. This week is the response to the drama, and it is
so good.
The
Eugene
about Eugene are making me laugh.
I live for it. Eugene's face, he has nothing.
He is
nothing
so mad
for him. His face.
I didn't know that he was. I was telling Keegan he's Ariel's best friend.
So Ned's wife's best friend, and you can
really
feel
not having it.
He is serving Anakin Skywalker realness in that video. It is.
he is done.
He has vibes. He has goals. Like if I ever am wrong,
You know what?
I want to be embodied
Do you
by
know what?
Eugene.
Eugene is Keegan. Eugene has been telling Ariel for years now.
Whispering to her.
Ned ain't shit.
Shit.
Ned ain't shit. And now he's like, now he's got the tight lip. Now he's got the tight lip and the look.
tight fit, and the boots.
Yeah,
bitch.
and one of my favorite things that I've seen that I am incorporating into my vocabulary at every given opportunity is serving cunt.
Oh, serving cunt is.
Eugene's over there serving cunt in the corner. I'm like,
I love it.
Bless up, bitch.
I love it. I'm gonna use it at every opportunity.
Oh,
Yes.
priceless, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the drama has been I love TikTok. I just that's but it is me. Like I'm literally like not on it. Like I don't get on almost any social media through the week. I know, Keegan, you say that like you're like for my own self sanity. I do feel that way. Like sometimes I'm like, if I have like a couple minutes where I might like do a quick scroll or something of like a Instagram or even a Facebook every once in a great while, like, but I'm almost never on. And I literally was thinking about it the other day. I was like, does anybody go onto social media platforms anymore? I mean,
Just
besides TikTok.
Yeah, just
And-
TikTok. I don't really spend
It's like a 30% plus decrease of people even going on to like social
Yeah.
media platforms.
Yeah.
I find that when I'm super stressed about things, I definitely, my usage plummets. Like even TikTok, like I can't, I can't handle it. You know, I feel like I need my shit together. I need to be in a good mental place in order to be on social media at all. But yeah, I know we've had conversations about that where I'm like, Christina TM is on TikTok, but Christina herself is not on social media for sure.
There is a girl on there though that I just found, and I just want to shout out her name, and we don't have to like go through all the stuff about her, but her name is Delilah Bond, and she has, I mean, it's given me real 90s like just fucking vibes. Like she's got like this kind of punk rock like rap thing that she does, and I'm just telling you, like, dude, the shit she's spitting is fucking good as hell. And it's like real fucking pro woman, and it's like women are fucking pissed, dude. And she has this video of her like that is one of her songs, and it's called Dead Men Don't Rape, and the audience,
oh yeah,
dude,
no, I saw it. Yeah, it's
listen, people, it's giving me all those angsty 90s vibes of like Hole, and you know, like that kind of like fuck you, like,
it's very
getting
like Kathleen Hanna Bikini Kill energy.
And I'm living for it, because I'm like, now is the time that we need it. We need like these anthems that we can get behind, that we can get like angry behind, and just be like, you know what, we should be fucking outraged. And this shit is crazy. Like, what is going on? You know, we should be questioning everything. And I live for that shit.
Well,
that's the Gen Z in me, or Gen X in me.
I mean, on that note, thoughts to everybody in Iran right now.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
There's one of the biggest women's revolutions of our lifetime is happening in Iran right now.
Yeah.
So that's incredible.
Definitely anything that you can do to share and repost their stories just to help get their voice out, because it should be a mainstream news, event. It should be something that's blasted everywhere and you barely ever see it unless you come across it in your FYP on TikTok, which is, it should be everywhere.
It's
it should be
unbelievable.
They talked about it briefly on Daily Zeitgeist the other day, and they were talking about like, you know, there was probably a reason that they're not, you know, you're not getting as much of it in the mainstream media here. And I think it has a lot to do with that. They are making waves, and they are making hopefully some progress, but they, you know, this is a movement, and it can happen. And, you know,
if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vote.
Yep.
Do what you can. All right. Well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have bad date stories, if you want to come to our live show happening Friday, October 28th at Dynasty Typewriter, or live stream it from wherever in the world you are, go to our one-stop shop of website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.